Hello and welcome to Annatude with Anna Burr. I'm here with my most listened to episode, Sarah Boone. Say hello to the listeners.
Hello, everybody. I'm back. Thank you so much for having me.
She's back with more content. That's what everybody was saying. They're like, she gave us so much. And I was like, she didn't even have to. And I even cut our interview short because it was almost 3.5 hours. So
yeah, we really went in.
We did. So I had to have you back. Yes. And we are recording this on Zoom, so I can put this up on my YouTube channel. My YouTube is Annatude Podcast. So go ahead and search me. And you're from the Middle America. Your name is Jan.
Yeah, I wear flannel. I drive a 16-wheeler.
Yes.
Saturday. And yeah, my kids, Bo Peep and little Johnny.
No, your kids' names are Braden and Mason Jar. Mason Jar.
Out of one.
Yes. I think I am too, actually. This is a gift from my friend Yvette. So she gave me a wedding gift since I can't get married anytime soon. So
into those gifts right away.
Yeah. So, if anybody wants to know, I'm registered on Amazon, Wayfair, and wherever else you buy wedding gifts. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Target. So We're going to get into the episode. We are going to be just going through our dating history because I feel like, there's just so much untapped territory that we need to get into with both of our dating lives. So I wanted to start the segment with your first kiss. Let's talk about it.
Oh, well, this is what's interesting, Anna. Not much to share because I don't remember it.
You were drunk?
Yeah, I was a little bit of a late bloomer. In high school, like I did not date. Like I went on like 2 dates in high school, but they were like kid dates. But I didn't have my first kiss until I was 19 in college. And it was one of those things where I think I like built it up so much in my head of like, oh my gosh, like what's your first kiss gonna be, that like by the time I got to college and like I'd go to frat parties and everyone's like making out around me, I was like, screw it. And I just like made out with someone.
With who? Oh, so you made the first move even.
I don't know who made the first move, but I think like the fear over like, who's going to be my first kiss and all, like it has to be special and in a cute little like way. Because you know me, I love a good rom-com. Like I like had expectations like that and they just were not met. But
what song was playing? Do you remember what song was playing? Please tell me it was like a G6.
It was like in the basement of a fraternity house. My shoes were stuck to the floor. I couldn't thing. I like, if you lined up like 5 guys from that night on a wall, I couldn't tell you which one of them was the one that I kissed. And
Chad, Brad, Matt.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah. So that is unfortunately my first kiss story, but kind of like got it out of the way and, just really honed my craft the next 4 years of college.
Well, I'm proud of you, like that you just like took the initiative and you're like, I'm going to have my first kiss right here, right now, so I can get it over with.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Was it good? Do you remember if it was good at all?
Not really. I just remember this. I would say that this guy was not a good kisser, knowing what I know now.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember, oh God, this is so awful. I'm sorry if he ever hears.
Whoever you are, Chad or Brad, if you're listening to this.
Wherever you are. From the basement of SIGUP at University of Oregon.
Shout out.
I just remember his like tongue, like being like this little like worm, like he was like a tongue.
Ew.
Yeah. And I just remember thinking like, this is it?
That is not it, honey.
That is not it. Quickly realized that there was just so much better out there. And
yeah, like that is not how you kiss.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And I think like I built it up so much in my head. Looking back 10 years later, it's like, I don't lose sleep over the fact that I don't remember my first kiss.
Well, I'm glad you don't remember yours. Mine was horrid and I need to call the police. I don't know what the statute of limitations are for kissing a minor, but my first kiss was a 21-year-old man and I was 16.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm calling him right now. I'm going to file a report. But So this is how it happened. I used to be emo. For anybody who doesn't know, that means like I listened to screaming music and I thought everybody hated me and nobody understood me. So I was going through a phase. It's not a phase. I still listen to that music, but I would go to these shows at church, like a church, and it was like Christian rock bands, which my mom was like, oh, it must be okay. It's inside of a church. Like, what shenanigans could be going on? Well, the shenanigans that were going on were that 21-year-old men were hanging out with my 16-year-old self. So there was a guy there that was like friends of a friend to a band, which he wasn't even in a band. So he was a loser. And we ended up hanging out with one of my friends at her house. Her mom was there even. Like, why was she letting this adult man inside of her home? I don't know. And he kissed me, pushed me against a pool table and kissed me. And I think I was just like, oh, I guess this is how my first kiss goes. And then he decided that he was my boyfriend, even though I never consented to the kiss or being in a relationship, and put it on MySpace that we were together. And I called him out on it, and he called me, and I quote, a gay monkey.
He called you that?
Yeah, because he was mad because I was like, you need to take that down. We are not dating. Like,
This man must be in jail by now.
I hope to God he's in
Google
jail.
search.
Yeah, his name is Josh, and I don't
never trust a man with a J. Well, damn it, never mind.
My future husband, whenever I get married to, his name is Jay, so literal Jay. But
I just have bad experiences.
Yeah, everybody. I think Jay is just like a fuckboy like initial, but minus my man's. But yeah, it was very traumatizing now that I look in retrospect, because like I didn't consent to any of it, and he was an adult man and I was a baby. So that was my first kiss and my introduction to like the world of men don't know how to ask consent.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ugh, and look at us later. Now nothing has changed. They're still
you're still, yeah, it's been 20 years and they still are garbage.
I'm sure if you Googled him, that man has a rap sheet, because it's one thing to be 21 and kiss a 16-year-old, but then to like go after them and date them, or like attempt to date them and then cyberbully them, like you're in the head. Like
you're a psychopath. Yeah. And why are you like literally put it on his MySpace that we were dating? And I was like, you never even asked me, and we've never even hung out. MySpace. Like, you're insane. Oh my God. MySpace is so messy. Like, do you remember making top 8s, and like if you didn't put your friends in your top 8, like they're like, what, are we fighting?
Oh,
yeah. And yes, we were, because I was a messy bitch, so I would purposely, if I was mad at somebody, I would take them out of my top 8.
I had a huge, like, when I made MySpace and made my top 8, I was very set on like this, if you're in my top 8, like it means something, you know. And I had my best friend as my number 1 on my top 8, and we had a huge falling out in middle school. And like the first thing I remember thinking was like, what's in my top 8? And I left her there for the longest time, because I remember thinking like, we're gonna like get back together, basically, like it'll be fine. But the day she took me out of her top 8, like soul crushing. And so then obviously I was like, well, fine, bitch, I'm taking you out of mine. Bye. But like so much weight was on that.
Yes.
We had I talked to her. It's full circle. We're not in a fight anymore, but it took 12 years. God damn it. How long ago was 2006?
That was a long time ago.
14 years ago?
Yeah, 14 years ago.
In December, we had a come to Jesus moment and recovered our friendship. It was beautiful, but it took 14 years since we took each other out of our top 8 to recover our friendship. So
therapy is needed for that.
Definitely.
Friendship. Yeah. So, well, moving on from our first kiss, neither one of us had that romantic one that we thought that was going to happen.
Right.
Do you have a first date, like your first actual date?
Yeah, I have. Oh God, I have like first date, and then I have. Oh God, I have so many bad date stories. My first date was in high school, and I was 16 because I just gotten my driver's license. And it was with this kid, Jono, who was just like the most adorable, sweetheart little man. Oh God, not little. That was rude. He's not small.
I was going to say, was he like 5'2" or something? Like,
no, but my prom date was. I'll have to send you.
Oh.
He was, yeah, I was taller than him, but we were really good friends. But so Jono and I were really good friends, and I like kind of knew that he liked me, but I was like, I don't know how I feel. Like I knew one of my friends had a crush on him, so I didn't want to like act on it. Like I was just like trying to like, take my girl side. So he asked me to hang out one day, and I didn't realize at first that it was a date. And he was like, let's go to the movies. I can't even remember what movie it was, but that we had been talking about wanting to see. And he was like, we should go. And I was like, yeah, sounds good. Like, I'll come pick you up and we can go. And I was like, should we invite anyone else? And he was like, no, I think it'll be fine. And like, dumb little Sarah is like not putting it together that it's a date.
It's a date.
When I had first started driving, my mom was like super like nitpicky about me having my license, because she's like, it's illegal to drive without your license. So like anytime I asked to borrow the keys, she would make me check my purse to make sure I had my driver's license. And I opened my purse and I couldn't find my license. And I think that I had like left it in my locker at school or something. I can't remember why I didn't have it, but I was panicking because I could not find my driver's license. So I was like, I can't come pick him up, and he can't drive, and he had already bought tickets to this movie. So my dad, at 16 years old,
coming through with the dad, yes.
picked me, like drove me to Jono's house. We picked him up, rode in the back seat together. My dad dropped us off at the movie theater.
How cute.
Yeah, but it was like, I was like so ready to be like big girl, grown up. I'm 16, I can drive, I'm independent, I'm gonna go on a date. And then, like a 12-year-old, had to have my dad chauffeur me around on this date.
That is nice of your dad, though. My dad would be like, fuck you and your man. Why doesn't he have a license? Like,
no, he liked Jono. Jono was super, super sweet. He was a great person.
That's precious. Well, shout out Jono.
Yeah.
Did you guys hold hands at the movies?
I don't think so. I get like really weird about like physical touch. Like anytime like I've been on a date or something at a movie and a guy touches me, I'm like, I don't know why. Like, just
you break dance out of it. You're like,
sorry.
Start doing the worm in the middle of the aisle.
Yeah.
Well,
slide out of here.
He probably wanted to take it to the next level, but you wouldn't allow it. So
yeah. Well, and it was just God, like looking back, I should have like been more like receptive to his advances, because I think he really did like me, but I just like felt really guilty that I knew that my best friend liked him, and I was like, I can't date you because my best friend likes you, and like that's rude to my
you are a girl's girl, feminism at its
through and through. You know me,
yeah.
I've always been that way.
Yes.
But yeah, it was definitely like, yeah, I think that I would have dated him if she didn't like him. He was just like too pure of a human.
Wait, what's his name? Jono?
Jono.
Jono, yeah, you do all days. Jono, if you're out there, I want to know how you're doing. Please respond to this podcast.
He's actually good. I saw him over the holidays. He's a bartender at like my favorite bar back home.
Nice.
Home we go when we visit, but he has a girlfriend and some girl drama with some.
Ooh.
Allegedly.
Oh my goodness.
Still a ladies' man, and
still a ladies' man. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to stop saying somebody commented that I say I love that too much. And I can't help it. I love everything. I love that. All right. So we talked about your first date. I'm going to tell you about mine. It's seriously horrendous. So, okay. So I'll set the scene. I'm 15 years old. It's about to be homecoming. It's fall, blah, blah, blah. So I'm in a parking lot, and I'm like, I'm at a parking lot at a football game, and I didn't know it at the time, but a guy from a different school noticed me, and he messaged me on LiveJournal. So for anybody who is either too old or too young, LiveJournal was like, it was Twitter before there was Twitter. Like
it's a sweet spot in our generation.
Yeah, I was actually like obsessed with LiveJournal, and my LiveJournal name was Anna MCR, which stood for My Chemical Romance 15. So yeah.
Amazing.
So anyway, so he messaged me on LiveJournal and asked me to go to his homecoming. He went to a different school, and I said yes. Went and bought a dress. Well, my dad bought me a dress, got my hair done, and he said he was going to pick me up. So he comes over. This is the first mistake. He doesn't knock on the door. He just walks into my house. The first thing.
Walks in.
Yeah. And my mom is like, so our living room was like right in the entranceway, and she was sitting in like her favorite chair reading, and he like walks in, and she's like, oh, hell no. It's like, she comes in my room. She's like, that guy just walked into our house. So it's like, run out there. And like, my parents want to take pictures. And we go out to his car, and he is driving a pickup truck, but the passenger side door doesn't work. So I have to get in from his driver's seat in my dress, which was kind of short, and climb over to the passenger side. All right, it gets worse. So then I'm a vegetarian at the time. I was a ride or die vegetarian. I was only a vegetarian initially because a guy I liked was a vegetarian. I wanted to get his attention, but then I like got obsessed with it. Was a vegetarian for 10 years.
For the same reason.
Yeah, I was vegetarian for 10 years. And then, so we go to a steakhouse, which I'm like, what can I eat here? So we're looking at the menu, and I'm like, I don't know what to even order. And he's like, why don't you order off the kids menu? And I'm like, bitch, are you kidding me? So at that point, I'm not even hungry. I just order, I think, a side of mac and cheese. And then we go to his school to go to the dance. And he runs into his ex-girlfriend. So he gets all nervous and awkward. And then we literally, the reason why I got dressed was to go to this homecoming. He says, can we leave? I don't feel comfortable here. I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, I spent my dad's money on this for me not to even go. So I was like, okay. So then he's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, how about we go to Pet, because he knew I liked animals. He was like, how about we go to PetSmart? And I'm like, what the fuck? What? So Sarah, we walk into PetSmart. He sits in the middle of the turtle section on the floor and watches the turtles for like 30 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm like texting my friends and my mom that I like want to go home. And I tell him like, hey, it's getting kind of late. And he's like, yeah, do you want me to drop you off? And I was like, sure. And he was like, how about I drop you off at a gas station? So my friends had to pick me up my friends had to pick me up at a gas station because he didn't want to drive me all the way like home or to wherever I needed to go. So it was just like very upsetting. I was like, this is ridiculous. And then a few weeks later, so I start telling this story to the whole school because I was like I was a clown. I was like the class clown. So I like told the story. I embellished it a little bit even. And 2 weeks later, guess who transfers to my school?
No fucking way.
Yes. Transfers my school. And then he confronts me saying, you're telling everybody about our date? I thought you enjoyed yourself. So it was like 2 years of awkwardness between us because of this.
What would you have enjoyed though? I would like him to reflect and tell, oh, you seem to enjoy yourself when I left you in the gas station. Like,
you seem to really enjoy PetSmart at 9 p.m. Like, no,
right?
I hated it. Yeah, it was horrible. So yeah, that was my first date. Okay, so tell me about like your dating life in college. Like, were you like a monogamous person, or did you like date around?
Yeah, my dating life in college like doesn't exist.
Really?
Yeah, so like that guy Michael, like we like we're friends, and then I was like in love with him, and that was like freshman year, and then sophomore year is when we dated, and then we broke up, but we like stayed friends, and I was, of course, as any crazy girl is, still in love with him, even though I acted like we were fine. And we still like, he was like my emotional boyfriend, and we like still like hooked up from time to time. So like there was no like reason for me to like want to go out and date and find other people because like he was always there. So I just like never dated. And then like also I saw like all the girls in my sorority, like all my friends getting their heart broken by these like fuckboy frat guys. Like I wanted nothing to do with it. Like if you like slept with someone, it was like the rumor mill was just on fire.
Oh my gosh.
And like, so I was like, I don't want people to talk about me and like my sex life and my dating life like that. So I just like stayed out of it, and I was too nervous to engage. And he was my emotional support boyfriend, and I just kind of felt like I didn't
love that. Emotional support boyfriend. I like that term.
He was, but I didn't have to pay extra to take him on a plane or anything. It was great.
Nice.
So yeah, that was like, what is my college dating history. I'm like
Wow.
I definitely had guys like show interest in me and, like ask me out and stuff. Cause like there was so much of that time that I was single, but I literally could have cared less. I was like, I want nothing to do with anyone else. Like I have Michael and we're fine. And yeah, it's
Makes
like not
sense.
thing, but I clearly have a pattern of similar behaviors. As a 28-year-old woman, I have not learned my lesson. So here we are.
Well, I mean, it took me a while to learn my lesson, but after the first $150 drop on a guy, I think I learned it pretty fast.
Once cash is involved, the game
Yeah,
changes.
I still can't believe I should sue him for emotional damages.
Yeah.
So in college was like my time to shine. So I grew up in kind of like a sheltered household. Like my mom was very like strict with me. Like I had a curfew. We weren't allowed to date until she was like, you can't have a boyfriend until you're 17. You need to worry about school. You better not be drinking. And if I catch you drinking, you better call the police because I'll kill you. So I did not have interest. And I also didn't have interest in dating in high school because it was just like it was too much pressure. And I did not have any self-confidence in high school at all. But I look back and I was like, damn, I was a 10 because I was like super tiny.
Tell them.
I was a cutie, but I didn't think I was. But in college, I let loose. Like I partied Thursday to Wednesday. Like I was out of control. And as far as dating goes, I had like one serious boyfriend, but other than that, I dated around a lot. And usually it was like, that was like the coming of age of like just scamming men for like for dates and leading them on. And I remember I used to, I don't know if I told you, if I was talking to you about this or somebody else on the pod, but just like I would send texts that said like, hey, to like 20 different guys and just see what would bite back.
I love that.
Yeah, no, I was seriously like, and then I, in college started out as like a no-name freshman, but by the time I was a senior, I was very well known because this was before the age of, people dyeing their hair or anything. I had half of my head shaved and this was in 2011. So that was like pretty crazy for the time. And I also had my septum pierced, which I just put it back in right now.
I was going to say, I love it.
Yeah, I'm going through a midlife crisis. I'm turning 31 on Monday, and I was just like, oh man, I used to be so like fashionable, and I would just put it back in. But yeah, I was the talk of the town because I went to a school in Wyoming, which is a very small school, and like the fashion was like 10 years behind. So I was like so provocative. But yeah, I literally would date around. I would go out all the time, and yeah, I was crazy. So Jay found me at the right time.
Yeah, that's what I loved, like going out in college. Like I would go to like frat parties, flirt my way around for drinks, once I was 21, go to the bars, flirt my way around for drinks. But then it was Michael he didn't drink. He would come pick me up from the bars and take me home every night. It was great.
I love that. Oh my gosh. I love a DD boyfriend. Yeah, there was only like 2 clubs to go to where I went to school. It's called Laramie, and there was only 2 clubs to go to. So you would see the same people every weekend, but then if there was like a new person there, you would be able to finagle drinks off them because they wouldn't know, like, don't give Anna Burr drinks because she'll be crazy. So yeah, it was a wild time in college. Like I am surprised I graduated. So it was crazy. Yeah. And I worked 3 jobs. Literal 3 jobs. Like
you deserve to let loose.
Oh, that's how I felt. Like I was like, I'm on the dean's list. I'm working 3 jobs. I'm about to black out. Like, honey.
And, like, get it out of your system in college because it's like somewhat normalized behavior at that point in your life. It'd be much more concerning to be doing all of these ratchet things as late 20s, early 30s adults.
I still black out.
Oh, that part has not changed.
Yeah, but I'm not as wild as I used to be.
I guess maybe I do still kind of hustle guys for drinks at bars. Nothing in that realm of my life has changed.
So ladies, if you're listening, don't be scared to ask a guy for a drink because wage gap is still there. They're still making more money than you in the workplace. Take that drink, honey. So
you don't owe, remember that you don't owe them anything. If they offer to buy you a drink, all you have to do is say, yes, thank you.
You don't even have to say thank you. That's what they get for being dumb.
I still say thank you so they don't like do anything bad to it. But
I would take my drink first and just look at them like, okay, can you go now? Like, thank you.
Yeah. After that, don't feel like you have to dance with them. Don't feel like you have to kiss them.
Oh no, absolutely not. Like, no, do not feel forced.
Think that that's like what they're getting when they buy a girl a drink, and it's like, no.
Yeah, I remember I had a friend, she would get drinks from guys and she would like kiss them. And I'm like, you don't have to give them literally anything. Like, you don't even have to give them the time of day. Like, what do men have to offer that you need to like repay them in like a physical favor?
Right.
Not shit. So don't worry about it, girls. Okay. Have you ever dated a guy with a fetish? And I know you have to, Sarah has things to do in this time of core. Are you social distancing at 7 p.m.? Is that the question? I need to know.
Social distancing with other people.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, I don't know where that, but no, I don't know that I've ever dated anyone with like a weird fetish, but like definitely like some guys are into like certain things that like are not necessarily vanilla, but I'm like not mad at it.
Well, give me an example. I need to hear like, what is not vanilla to you?
We're talking about it on the internet.
Oh, you don't want to talk about it on the internet?
No, I'm like blushing.
Okay, listen, we've talked about it all. I just told my story about how I shed my uterine lining on some guy's baby blanket. You can tell me if a guy has had a fetish.
I just like don't know if it's a fetish, but like I've dated a guy who like was like into like butt stuff.
And, like, that's normal because guys.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's normal, but then there's like guys who are like vanilla who like wouldn't do that, and then there's like guys who are like hell yeah, like every time. And
yeah. I had a guy that liked his nipples twisted.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we didn't last very long because I was like, this is stupid. But I don't want to kink shame. You'll find somebody for you. All right, last question.
My favorite is don't yuck somebody's yum is like
yes, exactly. All right, have you ever been in a situationship? And for the listeners who don't know what that is, that's like you're in a relationship, but not like you do relationship things, but there's no title.
I would say I oftentimes find myself in a situationship. I have like a bad habit of like being really like close friends with guys who like this guy from college, who was like an emotional boyfriend. Like I am the queen of emotional boyfriends because like I enjoy like that like emotional connection with someone and like always feeling like I have someone to like talk to and go to. But it makes it harder for me to go out and like date other people because I'm like emotionally invested in this other person, like even if it's not like an actual relationship, if that makes sense. Like that's probably my biggest repeat offender mistake in dating. It's happened multiple times.
I think it's because I feel like guys aren't ready for the type of monogamy that you showcase, if that makes any sense. Because like, I feel like this is just my couch psychiatry talking, but I feel like that you want the relationship so bad that you will put your feelings on the back burner to make them feel comfortable.
100%. Yeah, it's a bad habit, and I totally do that. It sucks. Because if anyone is similar to me or has done this before, they there's no other outcome but getting your feelings hurt. Like
absolutely. So you just gotta,
you gotta find a relationship. They'll tell you they want to be in a relationship. They're not gonna like.
Absolutely, they will not pussyfoot around. Like they will literally say like we're dating, and like you don't even usually have to have a conversation about dating. If somebody truly is interested, it just happens naturally. But
yeah, I feel like it's like the guys like to have their cake and eat it too, because like they know I'll always be there for them. I'm a reliable friend. I'm like trustworthy, and they can open up to me, and they do, and that's how we like build this like emotional bond. But then like they're getting the same thing out of it as I am, but then they're still like on dating apps or dating on the side, and then guess who they call after a shitty date? Me. And guess who is too like weak to be not like say like, oh no, I'm not gonna hang out with you after you just got done dating Sheila out in Scottsdale. Like obviously I'm still gonna be there because I care about them. But yeah, it like definitely makes it harder for me to like find like an authentic relationship outside of that, because I'm kind of like getting the like satisfaction of a relationship.
right. And that is just your heart, and you need to realize like that's not a flaw. That's actually a a good quality to have. You just have to find somebody that matches your energy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's like the thing. It's like I have to remember that like if someone wanted to be in a relationship with me, like they would be in a relationship with me. Like I mean, if I wanted it to. But,
yeah, not like mine where I wasn't consenting to that guy that called me a gay monkey.
Yeah. I'm like the queen of like making up like relationships in my head too, of being like, well, he blinked today and it looked like he was blinking at me, and I read that if you blink twice and like maybe a half blink, it means that they are in love with you. And I'm like, yes, perfect. That means he's definitely in love. Like I'll take that shit and run with it. Like I'll read someone's horoscope and be like, wow, they must love me.
I love that you're self-aware though, because a lot of women are not, and they think they're, doing the right thing.
Right.
But you realize that you're just a hopeless romantic and a
Because
non-hopeless.
I've made the same mistake.
Yeah, you're learning, and your time will come where you don't even have to look at somebody's horoscope. You'll just like, damn,
right.
we're married. Oh shit.
Right. Well, and like, yeah, I'll figure it out. But yeah, situationships are where I always find myself, because I put myself in that position a little too often. But
well, I've been in a situationship with a gay man, so
that's fascinating. I have to hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I dated this guy in college. I was a junior, and I can't say his name because he's relatively famous, but we dated for like a year, and we talked every day. We Skyped every night, and literally talked until I was 27 years old. So from 21 to 27. And we would see each other on occasion, but we would never say like we're girlfriend and boyfriend. And I would like I would never be dating anybody. And because I was respecting this quote unquote relationship that I was in by myself. But he would say like, oh my gosh, like you're my best friend. I love you. I can't believe like I've met you, all this stuff. And then I think, when I was like 26, I found out he texted me and told me that he liked to look at penises all day and all night on the internet. And then finally it came out that he was into men. And I respected that. I was like, you know what? You live your truth. Like we're best friends. I love you for that. Like you do you. And after that, like our relationship just got better. But then we like fell out of touch when I got with Jay, because it was kind of just like an awkward, awkward thing. Like it was just like, you're a man, and even though you don't like women, it just didn't feel like, because I used to have feelings for you, so we couldn't really talk like how we used to. But yeah, he was gay the whole time. So
interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, and it was I'll have to have a separate episode about that, about the celebrities I've encountered, because I am like always 6 degrees separated from a celebrity, and always have been in rooms with celebrities, but like they don't even feel like yeah, I always have met the celebs I wanted to meet. So I have that magic touch. But he was like celebrity adjacent, so I got to meet a lot of celebrities through him due to his career. So it was a wild time in college, let me tell you.
Oh, I bet. That's so interesting.
Yeah, no, and he was fully, he loved men. And I was like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Yeah.
these penises you're looking at online.
Yeah, seriously, like circumcised, uncircumcised, big.
What do you like? What do you like?
Yeah.
He said he would go into this chat room. It was like kind of like chat roulette,
Oh, what a throwback.
but it was a chat roulette of just genitalia,
Oh.
which I would not be down for because I don't want to see anybody's, but
Yeah.
I was like, go off, king, go off. But yeah, so that was pretty much, yeah, my situationship. Other than that, I don't, unless I'm dating you, we're not talking. Like, I don't play around. So unless
See,
you're,
that's my problem. Like, go ahead.
yeah, I was just saying, unless like I'm getting something out of it, like a dinner or like a outfit or something,
Mhm.
we're not playing around. You're not gonna
Yeah.
have me out here looking stupid.
Yeah, I think that's where like my problem stems from, is that like the guys that I like end up in like serious relationships with are guys that like start out as friends, and it's like having that friendship is what like muddies it, like going into a relationship and then coming out of a relationship too. It's like, hey, do we go back to being friends? Like, I don't have that ability, like you're saying, to just like,
Separate the two.
yeah.
Well, I'm
That's the struggle.
hoping for the best for your journey as a single woman,
Always learning,
especially
always growing.
especially in this time of core. Like, this is uncharted territory. Hopefully you get it figured out, and hopefully there's no more situationships. Maybe you need to manifest like something like
I mean,
either,
the good juju.
yeah, I'm
You
gonna
know
send
what?
it positive
I'm
vibes.
gonna come out of quarantine a new damn woman, and men will know what's hit them. I'm just gonna be ready. They're gonna be ready.
Yes,
We're gonna have
I'm
a
gonna
whole
come
new.
out the same woman, just 30 pounds heavier.
Would at least you're getting married. It doesn't. You know.
Am I ever gonna get married? I need to know right now. Like, am I ever getting married? I sincerely,
You
I
will.
can't say.
If it's the last thing, you know what? I'm honestly thinking you should do a joint wedding with our fearless leader, Senor Chavez. Since he's also supposed to be getting married this summer, and I'm guessing has been postponed.
I that would be hilarious because I work with him and Jay works with his fiance.
That's right. I forgot about that too. Oh,
Might as well just double date a wedding. That's hilarious.
yes. Yes. Oh, I
Well,
love it.
Sarah Boone, thank you so much for being a guest on the pod again.
This has been so fun. I truly just get so much joy.
Oh, I love it. So shout out your social media for everybody that wants to
my
follow.
God, how fun. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Sarah B. Boone. That's SarahBboon. And Twitter, I'm not as active as I used to be because I had to go private when I became a teacher, but I'm public now because I'm out of the classroom. So.
Ow. Yeah, so follow her and then email me at annatudepod@gmail.com so I can read your questions on air, answer your questions about relationships, situationships, and friendships. And if you're listening to this, day, night, wherever you are, have a good one. Bye.